The exponential moving average is the most profitable trading indicator that I have mastered over the last 10 years. It's able to pick the trend direction, it's able to tell me exactly where to get into trades, some great exit positions. I'm going to be deep diving into the exponential moving average and giving you my full trading masterclass. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe. Let's not waste any more time. I'm going to delete this from the chart. And let's go ahead and actually add our own exponential moving average because it's such a powerful indicator, is the most profitable indicator that I have used ever. So here we just go to the indicators section. You can use it on any of your charting platforms. Here we're just using TradingView and looking at the price of Bitcoin. Here we have the blue line. Once we've added the EMA exponential moving average to the chart, you should also go ahead and do the same. But what we want to do is also edit this. So you can see the EMA on my left-hand side. You can actually click on this settings or we'll double click on the line. And now it will populate with some inputs. We want to change this length because on the default it will be 9. We want to set it to 20. The 20 exponential moving average is my absolute favorite indicator. And I'll show you right now why the 20 specifically is such a powerful indicator. You can actually see that throughout this massive trend on Bitcoin, the EMA actually acted as a perfect trend direction tool. It gave us exact entries and even gave us some great exit points. First, let me actually explain the two different modes of the EMA. So the EMA can either have a positive slope where it starts from the bottom left of the chart and moves up and to the right. This right here is a positive sloped EMA. And what that means is we only ever look for longs in the market. Like we can see here, this has a strong positively sloped EMA because we start from this bottom left-hand side and end in the top right-hand side. We have a positive slope, so we only ever look for long trades to the upside because of that positive slope. We never want to trade in the opposite trend direction. We only ever want to follow the slope of the EMA. Now let me explain the other type of exponential moving average. Will actually be when the EMA starts in the top left-hand side and actually moves to the bottom right-hand side. This is going to be a negatively sloped EMA, and this means we only ever look for shorts. We can come over and see that there's quite significant periods where through this region, we start in the top left, end in the bottom right. We have a negatively sloped EMA. We only ever look for shorts. So what does that currently mean for the last price action in Bitcoin? As we see, we have a massively positive slope. So we only ever look for a long trade to the upside. Now, where do you want to look for long trades? Because you'd want to first wait for this EMA to actually change. And here after this direction and this trend, this would be exact perfect entry points because we can see price was well below the EMA right through this region. We finally got a break above. So price pushed above this exponential moving average. And now when we have a positive slope and we're trending well above the EMA, we want to look for entries when price comes back to the EMA. This is my favorite entry type right here. So we see price comes back to the exponential moving average after we have a massively positive slope. What it means is we have a high probability trade to continue in the trend direction. And even here, we see price did break a little bit below the EMA. Obviously, we see the EMA here, price above or price below. We see that we just moved around 10% below the EMA, and it actually acted as a perfect buy position to then look for a trend continuation. And as we follow along the trend, we see we had a huge spike above the trend. We then came back and retested the EMA, and then we continued in the direction of the trend. Even through here, quite consistently, we touched the EMA and had a very decent bounce. Now, what I want to show here is the EMA, it's not going to act like this bar right here where it acts as a perfect support zone. But what it means is any price below this exponential moving average has a high probability trade to actually continue in the trend direction. As you see, we get another major push to the upside. Where do we come back? We come back to retest this EMA. We do actually move below. As I said, it's not going to act as that perfect price point to $1. We're going to come off the EMA. What it means is this is a perfect zone anytime we get below this exponential moving average. And then again, here we get a major trend continuation. What I also want to point out in the current price action for Bitcoin, what do we see is the slope of the EMA. Since this bar here, we can see the slope moves from the top left to the bottom right. We have a negatively sloped EMA. It looks very similar to what actually happened back in this bear run. We got a year trend of bearish prices for Bitcoin. What we do see is a very opposite but similar trading price action, where once we see a negatively slope, we only ever want to look for short trades. Here, negatively sloped, price is coming back to retest the average price. We get a very small break above the average price, but then we get a continuation in the trend direction, in the direction of the slope of the EMA. And we can see all through this region, we have a negatively sloped EMA. Top left to bottom right, we only ever look for shorts. Where do you look for shorts? Anytime price comes back close to the EMA. Even here, we had a perfect short position. Right through here, we had a perfect short position. And then eventually, the trend will change, and then we can look for longs to the upside. So right here in the current price action for Bitcoin, let's actually compare during this bear trend right through here. Let's actually compare it to the EMA in this region. When we look at the slope of the EMA, it's definitely negatively sloped in this region. But when we look at the depth of the slope, here we can see it's just slightly down and to the right. When we compare it to the slope of this exponential moving average, it's nearly 45 degrees. Actually, nearly exactly 45 degrees. It's a much stronger sloped EMA. And what this shows is it could be a high probability trade, that this is the top for Bitcoin. Where do we want to look for a trade in the overall trend direction? If the trend direction right through here is negative, then we want to potentially look for a short trade. Now, what did I just say before about when I want to look for a trade? What would be the perfect placement for a trade would be for the exponential moving average to continue in this negative slope, but price to come back, retest this overall average price, and then it looks like the highest probability play is the continuation of the overall exponential moving average. And especially since this is on the weekly chart, it looks like this could be at least a medium-term trend for Bitcoin over this next 12 months. All that we're ever trading is probability. And here we see the probability for this EMA with this strong negative slope. It's just increasing to say this could be the perfect region to look for shorts when price comes back to, or actually retesting, this exponential moving average. We can actually see quite consistently on multiple different timeframes. This is actually a shorter term time frame. This is a 30-minute. What we can see right through here, we have a massively negatively sloped EMA. When price comes up and actually has a bullish push, where does price retest? Comes back, touches the EMA, then we get the trend direction. What's the trend direction? We'll look at the slope of the EMA, clearly negative. Look at the slope of the EMA, clearly negative. So we only ever look for shorts. And quite consistently, even again, price comes up and then we get another tumble to the downside. Now, eventually one of these trades is going to stop you out. But what that will show is that the potential trend is beginning to shift. See, as we continue on, we just see price having the negative slope, trying to come back above the EMA, failing, trying to come back above the EMA, failing, and getting that continuous trend direction. What's a really great way to use this EMA would be to look at, say, the 4-hour time frame. Look at what the slope of the EMA is doing on the 4-hourly chart, and then we move down to shorter term time frames to say, okay, on the 30-minute time frame, on the 5-minute time frame, I only ever want to look for trend direction trades on a longer term chart. So if the 4-hour, like let's go and see the current price action for Bitcoin, current price action is actually more negatively sloped. As we see, we've had a very strong negatively sloped EMA. And as I've mentioned in the past, when price comes back above this exponential moving average, it's a high probability trade for the trend direction to continue. And we can see basically for the past month, we've had a strong negative slope. So when we understand this, we can now move down to say the 30-minute time frame and understand, okay, the 30-minute time frame actually looks quite bullish over the last few hours. We've got a positively sloped EMA. Price is continuously bouncing off this EMA, using it as a support. But what the 4-hour allows us to understand is the overall trend direction is down. So this bullish push to the upside could be the perfect entry point to look for the continuation of the trend. So I really love the exponential moving average. It's by far my most profitable trading indicator. If you want me to really make a super in-depth video where I go over many past trades, where I literally go for more than 30 minutes explaining this exponential moving average and exactly how to use it, leave a comment down below, because I really want people to tell me the type of content they want to see. And if they are enjoying it, smash the like and leave a comment to tell me that as well. Don't forget to check out all the links in the video description. I'll actually be making a future video for the EMA. It's my favorite indicator. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.